go, and hopefully that will fire up as soon as it starts getting a signal. There we go. All right, looks like it is all working. It looks like it is all working. Good morning, Flash. How you going, mate? Can you hear me all right on YouTube there? The sound okay? Gonna give me some pizza, bruh. I kind of need new glasses. I need new glasses. Nag, how you going, buddy? There's a goatee scream for you, my friend. Welcome. Can everybody hear me okay? Good, mate. Good. Just give me some sound checks there on YouTube. Yeah, audio's good on Twitch. How's it going over on YouTube, Flash? Hopefully it's okay. Hopefully it's okay. Fingers crossed. Flash is over there on YouTube, but he's not answering me. All right, lovely. So we're getting back into Flight Sim today. Sim update number 3 has been released. And Sim update number 3 has some major bug fixes. So we're going to see how we go on the career mode today and continue on. Thankfully, my career mode's there, but I am having it. It's kind of been detrimental to my. It's been a little bit detrimental to my controls and stuff like that. So hopefully, we may have to sort that stuff out as we go. So you guys will have to bear with me a little bit, I reckon. Just waiting for a sound check on YouTube if I can, which would be really good. It's also changed the color of our cargo plane for some reason. I mean, part of the update or something like that that's caused that. I'm not sure, but anyway. Nag, what are you doing, buddy? It's nice to have you. It's nice to have you here. It's nice to have you here as well, Flash. If you're gonna bloody answer me. So, what I could do. There we go. Audio good there. Thanks, Nag. I appreciate it, mate. I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to get stuck straight into some career flying here. You can see that it's actually changed the color of my aircraft. I don't know why. It's opening a tab. But yeah, let's look for some. Let's have a bit of a squiz and look for a bit of a cargo run. We're actually down here at the moment, I believe. Freelancer stuff we want. Good morning, Christina. If YouTube's being freaky and not loading chat. Oh, how are you this morning, Christina? Got Flash here, Nerd, Christina. Oh, it's a lovely world. There's a 1 hour and 30-minute flight over there. Where are these flights going? There doesn't seem to be a lot of flights here, does there? That's 1 hour and 30. What's the other one? Kind of can't see. That's a 1 hour and 30. I want to sort of fly into some areas that I haven't flown into. Although I did want to actually fly a little bit further into Italy as well, which would have been really nice. So finally, YouTube chat works. Yay. All right. Whoa. Well, our aircraft is down. Our aircraft and us are down here. I was thinking of actually putting on another aircraft as well at some point in time. We could. I really did want to sort of. I really did want to find some flights down this way, rather than flying away. We might actually take that one. That's a 1 hour flight. I think we might have a look at that one. What do you reckon? You're okay? The week's over? Yes, my week's over, and my work with that horrible place is over as well. I finished up there yesterday. So let's have a squiz at our flight planner and have a look at what we are doing. Let's do auto. It is a... Well, the kind of looks all right, doesn't it? what's our arrival here? Is it this stupid teardrop? I don't know why they do these. I don't understand these teardrop arrivals that are in here all the time. Let's go right direct auto maybe. And have a look at what we're doing there. No, change procedure. There we go. That's a little bit better. That's a bit. No, I didn't bother. I start a new one in on the 8th of August in 2 weeks' time. So it kind of does it look different? It kind of, maybe they have Flash. Maybe they have. Only played for about 20 minutes. Need to get some free time to play it. I nearly played it today, Nerg, Forever Skies. I was kind of trying to work out exactly what we were going to do. Change flight level. We want to be at maybe 80. Performance, flight level, feet, 8,000 feet. Yes, that'll do. Climb profile standard. All right, that is all done and set up. Beautiful. Let's have a look at our fuel. Okay, lovely. Yeah, it didn't take long. I got offered a job on Thursday, so I thought, yeah, no worries. Grab that. Spurk, how you going? 4 words and now it's a frozen screen. Of course you did. I do have a pretty good stream running at the moment, so they may have done some minor updates and stuff. Absolutely. We're going to have to transfer our aircraft across, which is going to cost us $530. All right. Okay. So, yeah, our aircraft seems to have changed since the update. So what we are going to need to do is make sure that we've got enough fuel. Yeah, try reload, Spurky. Manage the aircraft, fuel and payload. Manage fuel. Let's fuel him up a little bit. Let's get him up to there. That'll be okay. There's $1,000 worth of fuel. There we go. Are you back, Spurt? Are you back? Okay, let's head back again. All right, so this should be good. Cargo flight. It's worth nearly $100,000. Hopefully we get nearly $100,000 for it, and hopefully my controllers are set up. There it goes. Hi, Spurky. How you go? You're in trouble anyway, Spurk. You're in big trouble, buddy. Stuck in a traffic jam. It's like, oh, now's the perfect time for Simi to stream. So I started streaming. You came for 2 minutes and then you nicked off and left Flash and I. You left Flash and I in the lurch, mate. You left us in the lurch. Okay, we'll get rid of you. We'll get rid of you. We'll get rid of you. We'll get rid of you as well. Check the stability of that. Right. So yeah. So the Sim Update 3 has made some changes. So strangely enough, hopefully they're changes for the better, especially in big trouble. That's right. That's because your boss told you they've reopened the highway. Well, not good enough. Not good enough. Right. Okay. Let's get into here. Let's start by throwing that on there. We've got our route set. which is good. Let's center on our aircraft, which is good as well. Okay, let's get some battery on a beacon. Yeah, we'll make sure the fuel is cracked, is full. We'll go into there. Trim is looking okay, and let's give this thing a start up. Even went for a nice flight over our houses and everything. I know, that was so good.
Hi there. It's Viva. Now that you're all set up, let me go over the important details with you.
What the hell is going on there?
You have loose goods behind you. Standard shipment for one of our clients based in Calegno. Expected in no time at Air Italia. Sensitive cargo containers are designed to withstand turbulence, but keep a steady flight speed and adjust accordingly. A timely and secure delivery will ensure that everyone is satisfied. You have all the pertinent information in your flight packet as a reminder. Fly
Okay.
safely, team.
Okay, so the park brake is not working. So for some reason. And I don't know why. It's pinged me already, I know, because the park brake's not working. Is there a conflict in here for the park brake? Let's have a look. Now that we've got our controls and stuff happening. Let's go brake. Actually, let's go park brake. Park brake on here. Don't know. That should be okay. Yeah, parking brake. There we go. Parking brake. So I can't toggle parking brakes. There's nothing in there that should be messing with it. Keyboard is okay. Mouse is okay. And there's nothing on Toby as well. So, all right. For some reason, it just didn't want to work. And the aircraft rolled forward. There we go. Now it's working for some reason. All right. Park brake is on. That was a bit of a shit, wasn't it? It's not good. Not a good start. Give me your boss's number, by the way, Spurk. I really need to. I really need to ring him and speak to him about his rudeness there. Okay, so which way are we taxiing? We're taxiing that way. All right, lovely. What have we got? So I'm a little bit. Yeah, we've got our taxi lights on. That is on. Let's move our range in maybe a little bit. No, we can actually probably move out a little bit, to be honest. All right, park brake off. There we go, lovely. And we'll put our pidot on, and let's cruise, shall we? Let's cruise and do our first flight. Really? Is that so, Spurky? Is that so, mate? So we're gonna get pinged for not taxiing properly and all of that type of stuff as well. All right, that's fine. Yeah, so when the night sim update came out, I installed it and I jumped on Discord. I was on Discord with Flash and for like 1 minute with Spurk, and we had an absolute ball. We took off from from Adelaide International Airport, and we followed roads, and we flew down to the hospital, flew down to Flinders Hospital, landed on the helipad there, and then we followed the roads and flew out to my place. Then we flew around that area a little bit, and then we flew out to Flash's place as well. I'm just doing it at the moment. There we go. I've got it set up. So I was just doing it at the moment. The only I will be pausing it a little bit, the eye tracker a little bit during flight and stuff, purely because if I go and look at chat, see, I'm looking at chat like that. So that was kind of why I was pausing it. And even if I move my eyes around, I'm looking at chat as well. So yeah. Crazy. It's so hard to get used to. So hard to get used to. All right. I hope everybody's well anyway. See, I keep going to look at chat and my window spins around. Yeah. Well, now you know what it looks like, Flash. Even if I keep my head straight and I look over there with my eyeballs, it tracks over there. So it's a bit crazy. But yeah, so what I found in Sim Update 3 so far, it'll be interesting to see if a lot of the bugs in career mode have been sorted out. That will be nice to see. But we have found one of the helicopters, the H125. There's a problem with the controllers. Spent like so long last night. How long did we spend last night trying to sort that out? Flash, it was just forever. So that was a bit of a poop. So Simi's starting a new job on August the 8th. Okay, traffic is clear. Around we go. Head down to the hold short point. Ah, yes, that's true. That's true. You came at the last minute. I went to do a helicopter career mode. Good morning, Kane. How you going, buddy? Or good evening. Good evening, sir, to you. Not good morning. How you doing, Kane? You've been watching Smallville for the 20th time. I don't know how you do that, mate. I don't know how you do that. Once I've watched something, I can't watch it again. Ah, the new bucket wheel excavators, have they? I'm gonna have to check it out. That actually sounds really cool. That'll be a really good update, Flash. The bucket excavators on Outable. I've got to get in and record. I must get in and record an episode. I'll have to check it out, mate. I'll have to check it out. It'll be good to it'll certainly be good to see when they do release them. I'm guessing they're going to be pretty expensive, right? We didn't check out how much cargo we've got on board. Yeah, we've got a bit of stuff on board. We've got a bit of stuff on board. Don't know why that park brake didn't work. 3 different sizes. Oh, really? It's going to be so good for like expanding the open pit and stuff, isn't it? To have one of those. Especially if you could come up with some creative way to conveyor belt it. They don't make good TV shows much anymore. Yeah, true. True. That's very true, Kane. I still don't know how you do it, though. All right, around we go. Around we go. All right, let's go one stage of flaps. There we go. One stage of flaps for takeoff. Trim is set. Roll into here. And we'll stop at the hold short point. Lovely. Okay, taxi lights off, landing lights on, fuel pump on, strobes on, trim set, flap set, mixtures rich. Let's request our takeoff, shall we?
Tower, Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform, ready for west departure at runway 31 left.
Preach it, preach it, Kane. Preach it, Kane.
Departure to the west approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 31 left.
All right, there's our takeoff clearance.
Cleared for takeoff runway 31 left, Cessna Victor Tango uniform.
Okay, let's get into there. We'll set in. Everything's okay. Let's taxi out. Make sure our controllers are okay. Yep, controls good. Okay, lovely. Same like reading novels. You read many books over again, do you? All right. In we go. I think I'm going to pause this for now. The tracking. And off we go. Okay. Okay, everything's in the green. We're rolling. 40 knots. 50 knots. 60 knots. Let's go up. There we go. A little bit of trim the nose up, try and keep our track, and we'll climb out at 75 knots if we can, around about 75 knots. Try and keep track. Altitude, we're going to climb to
Cessna Victor Tango uniform, continue for west departure.
let's acknowledge that.
Tower, Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform, continue for west departure.
We're going to climb to 8,000 feet. We'll hit that for now. We'll do a nice left turn, 75 knots. Try and keep 75 knots. Let's bring our heading bug around, and we'll do a 45-degree intercept. I do love good trilogies and stuff like that, Kane. Most definitely. Most definitely. Okay. Autopilot. Flight director is on. VNAV. And heading. We'll try and keep doing this. Let's... Yeah, flaps up, fuel pump off. Leave pit on. Climb out at that. That should be pretty good. And we are climbing. Look at that. Look at us doing flying things. Eh? Look at us doing flying things. So yeah, apparently our livery's changed now. Which I actually kind of like this a little bit better than the other one, I reckon. In the name of beer, wine, and the Holy Spirits. Alcohol. Alcohol. Oh, it's a little bit bumpy. It's a little bit bumpy. All right, we're getting...
Victor Tango uniform, leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
We're going to go into nav mode now. Let's change our frequency.
Tower, Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform, frequency change.
Everything seems to be okay. Everything's in the green down there. Fuel selector should go to both, so that we kind of try and at least maintain some kind of balance here. We'll continue to climb out at 75 knots until we get to our altitude. Let the aircraft stabilize itself. And we'll set our altitude to 8,000 feet. Make sure that our altimeter is set, which it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, and we are ready to go. We are ready to go. Let's make ourselves some money. Let's make some idiom aviation money, shall we? That's what we want to do. One thing that we really need to check as well is, let's have a look if... Yeah, you see, they still haven't got this matching up with your actual route on here either, do they? You can see how offset we are, which is pretty interesting. I thought that they would have fixed that by now. I thought it would have been part of the fix and stuff. So, all right, as we get up, we're above 3,000 feet. We're nearly hitting 4,000 feet. I'm just going to bring the mixture out a little bit to try and get peak performance. So I'm watching that EGT. Watching the EGT. I'm looking for a peak in the EGT, which is right about there. And we'll just bring the mixture forward just a little bit, and that'll give us peak performance. RPM sitting at 2,400. I'm pretty happy with that climbing out. So there we go. What's everybody got planned for the weekend? Put that money straight back into more licenses and aircraft. Absolutely. I think we might buy. I reckon we might invest in a second Cessna and an employee so that they can fly and make money for us as well. Egypt Got Talent. You've been playing Forgotten Seas. Cool. Enjoying it? I may have to just bring the mixture up just a little bit, just to help us out a little bit there. We're climbing out at 500 feet. We're sitting at 5,200 at the moment. Christina and I just completely ignore that sign, don't we, when we're flying together, Christina? Look at that. How lovely. How bloody lovely is that? It's nice. This one over here, Christina. That one right there. You see it now? Yeah, what sign? I get it. I get it. Took a while to go over my daft head. But no, we're good. We're good. We are good. Look at that. Just looks bloody beautiful, doesn't it? It was really, really cool when we were flying around in the helicopter. I see no sign either. In one ear and out the other. Yeah, I know that's pretty right. But when we were doing it, we flew across my work, and the buildings are laid out exactly the same as my work, and all that type of stuff. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty bloody crazy. Hovered in front of my house, and my house is the same color as what it is in real life, which is crazy. You give, and what thanks do you get? What do you mean, what thanks do you get? You get lots of things. Well, yeah, good point. Good point. Okay, continuing to climb out. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Yeah, nerg. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. Let's do that. Yeah, I know, but it's just they take the roof style and stuff, and then they, like I said, it has some sort of algorithm that tries to determine what type of building should be in that place. So, but the buildings were they were kind of in place, weren't they? So. There's our peak right there. Yep, right there. It'd be pretty crazy to see him get it completely right. Do you know what I mean? Like, oof, could you imagine him trying to get it completely right? But the technology's good. I don't know what those hills are over there. I would have really liked to have flown a bit further into Italy, to be honest. Okay, so we're 100 nautical miles away, which is good. Nearly reached our altitude. We're 500 feet away. I'd like to balance these tanks a little bit, but I've got to remember, you guys have to remember to let me know to center that tank again. Everything's looking pretty good there. All right, lovely. We are nearly where we need to be. Almost. Probably picked way too high an altitude for this flight. Probably should have only climbed to 5,000 feet or something like that, but That's okay. Let's keep our eyes on this. We're about to level out, which is good. Once there, we should start speeding up. There we go. Get a little bit of oomph into that. Bring our throttle down. Get that fuel flow happening. We'll get to about yeah, probably about there. That should be all right. Let's make further adjustments on the mixture to get the mixture right. We're at I think we're at peak setting for the mixture, so there we go. Climb to space, thin out that fuel. Thin out that fuel. I don't know how high you can fly in this. I think there is DLC aircraft that allow you to fly to the stratosphere or something. So 8,000 feet for an hour flight isn't bad. Yeah. Yeah, true. True. I do kind of like flying a little bit lower and stuff, but we'll be okay. How long's that been going on, Kane? Or your roadworks? And there we are. Little Simi running cargo. I wish little Simi looked like that. Little Simi would be playing with himself all the time. Simidiom Aviation. Got a nice little logo on the tail there. Look at that. Need to put the height limit to the test sometime. Yeah, we could probably do that. We'd have to have the correct aircraft and stuff. But flying up at this level, we should be pretty good. We should conserve a bit of fuel and stuff like that. So, did that make you laugh, Nerg? Sierra Victor Tango uniform, full of cargo. That box on the back. In the back window there looks like it's just been kind of dumped in there, doesn't it? Definitely looks like it's just been dumped. So nice. It's actually quite nice up here, isn't it? All the way up here. Okay, let's just check, make sure everything's in the green. Fuel quantity on the right tank's coming down. As soon as it gets down there, we've got to we need to set it to center. Sitting on 94 knots at 8,000 feet. We'll get that out to there and then center on the aircraft again. There is a lot more AI aircraft around, isn't there? A lot more AI aircraft, so not that we've seen any, but hopefully when we get to the airport there's some other aircraft landing and stuff like that, because I found them to be pretty empty. So hopefully they've changed that a little bit, and hopefully they've changed that whole entering taxiway. You know the bug that we were having, the enter taxiway kind of a thing that we were getting penalised for and stuff. I'm hoping that they've kind of fixed that as well. There are some external software and stuff that has career modes in it outside of that are sort of add-ons for the game, and they all do things relatively different. The problem with most of those is that what I've always found is they like to sort of be they're more airline focused and flying big jets and stuff, which is not what I want to do in flight sim. You know, I will eventually fly some big jets and stuff, but I kind of, you know, it's not my ultimate goal. It seems to be a lot of people's ultimate goal is to fly massive jets in this. So much road construction all over town, changing drainage and water and waste pipes. Wow. Oh, at least they're doing something. Use FS economy for GA to commuter prop size stuff. I think I checked out FS economy at some point in time. So you don't use NERG, you're not using the internal. Is FS economy pretty good? Do you would you recommend it? Last flight sim you bought was X-Plane 11. Oh, so you're not using 2024. Are you flying in X-Plane 11 now, or like all the time? Yeah, I thought you did have it. I actually thought you did have it. Have a look at the snow peaks over there. How cool is that? So what are you flying on? Ah, really? Oh, good old FSX, eh? My God. Is there any reason why you haven't partaken in 2020 or 2024? I got the Stream FSX edition, and then I've got the boxed FSX edition and all that type of stuff. And you haven't got back into it. It's going to be one of those things, and Flash will attest to this. I tend to make sure that I don't continually play something and burn myself out on it. So, which is why when, if I'm doing series on the channel and stuff, why we'll get to a stream and I won't be playing that game. I'll be playing something else. So, because it's too easy to burn yourself out. Oh, did you make scenery for X-Plane 11, did you? X-Plane 11's pretty cool, but it's does it feel sparse when you watch somebody fly flight sim, like Microsoft Flight Sim, especially 2020 and 2024? Does X-Plane 11 look sparse? Because when I got into X-Plane, I've actually got the discs. And I think it might have been X-Plane 10, and it just everything just looked kind of sparse, if you know what I mean. And my God, then the control setups were nightmares, absolute nightmare. And that's why you went to it, yeah. They do have good physics models. We're flying straight down the middle of all these mountains, aren't we? That's pretty cool. Europe would have been a nice place to live in. The AI traffic's lacking and the stock scenery is horrible. Yeah. Maybe you should bite the bullet and delve into 2024, or at least 2020. I've downloaded little nav map, but I'm not using it. I should be using it. Probably a little bit hard to use on my third screen because I've got my OBS on my right hand screen, the game in the middle screen, and I've got all of the chat windows and all that type of stuff on my left screen. So if I had a little nav map up, it'd be covering up all of the chat and stuff. You're in 2 VAs. Was that fun? Flying in VAs? Was that in FSX or do they have a is FS Economy 2024 compatible now? There we go. We're still sitting on 95 knots. Everything's looking good there. Fuel is almost balanced now, which is good. I like FSU IPC and stuff like that. Nerg. 77 nautical miles out. I don't think we're going to get there in time for coffee break, Christina. We may have to pause mid-air, mightn't we? So that we can do our coffee break. My transponder's on standby, which it shouldn't be. That's a big mistake, isn't it? That's a very naughty mistake. But good VFR conditions today. A little bit misty. Look at how many towns and stuff there is around here. It's crazy. Big freeways and interchanges and bridges. All right. I'm actually, I mean, look, the thing that made me get 2024, despite the fact that I had some DLC and stuff for 2020, which some of it's working, like Adelaide and Parafield airports and landmarks in Adelaide and all that type of stuff. That's all working really well. That's from 2020. Haven't tested out any 2020 aircraft that are loaded into the sim, so we probably should have a go of that at some point in time and see how that works and test those aircraft out. I've got a 182 RG. But the thing that got me into it mainly was just the whole career thing. The whole career thing without having to have anything external running, something that's in game and stuff. But I may look at that. Was a big chunk of side draft, wasn't it? But I may look at what the other ones are. But I don't think I'll like purchase anything outside of in regards to career and stuff, because at the moment I'm actually really happy with what we've got here. Like really happy with what we've got here. So despite the little bugs and stuff like that, but they're not like groundbreaking. They're not game breaking at this point in time. They're annoying as all hell, and I'm hoping that Sim Update 3 has actually fixed that. So they just need to fix the H125, to be honest, because the H125 is trashed. So what was happening with that helicopter was anytime I'd use my cyclic or anything like that, it was so slow in the sim. So I'd wrench my cyclic to the right, and it would just in game just slowly move across. And there's an issue there, but it's all right in the Bell, and it was all right in the Robinson that we flew last night as well. Went and flew over Robbie's house and hovered outside Robbie's house window last night in the Robinson, which was good. But spent a lot of time just sort of tweaking sensitivities and stuff, because when I was trying to get the H125 working, I was increasing sensitivities on everything. And then I went back into the other helicopters, and the sensitivities were just absolutely crazy. So saw Tiff picking her nose in through a window while she was working. Yep. Dobbed her into Robbie for sitting at her desk in her workroom, her study, and she was picking her nose. We seen her through the window doing that, so... All right, looking good. Looking good. Let's make ourselves another 100 grand. Let's consider our options in regards to actually employing somebody and having another aircraft running. The one thing that I don't necessarily, and I don't know how they do it any other way, but I don't necessarily like about career mode is the insurance that you have on your aircraft. It ticks over every day. So if I didn't fly or jump into flight sim for a month, there would be a month's worth of daily insurance costs come out of the company, and I'd get hit with a really, really big bill. So you've got to be careful of that. And the other thing you got to be careful of is if you have other aircraft and you have insurance on them and pilots flying, pilots won't fly your other aircraft while you're out of the sim. They'll only fly when you're actually in the sim, so which is really interesting. So you could have two planes there and you don't get into flight sim for a month, you don't get back in for a month, and you've got two planes worth of insurance, to pay, and your AI pilot hasn't flown anything. So yeah, per flight hour, yes, build every 24 hours, but when I fired it up the other day, I had a like a $1,400 bill in there when I fired it up after Sim Update 3, so I'm not sure, Flash. It's a little bit confusing on the wording, but once we get this thing down on the ground, we'll have a squiz. We will have a squiz at what we've got there. So if we reduce our altitude at 500 feet per minute, that is 2 minutes per 1,000. That's 2 minutes per 1,000. That's 8 minutes. So probably 8 minutes out, we could start to. Yeah, I actually like being down at the right level a lot earlier than that. So. It could have been left over from the last time I flew, correct. But I don't know how I don't know how else they would do it, to be honest. Like, if you think about it, there's kind of really no other way that you could do it. Like, they couldn't do a monthly bill, insurance bill. They couldn't do I mean, yeah. So hours flown is probably the best way to do it. But I do remember a video I watched on it on career mode just before I got this that did say that that they were coming back to they had 2 other aircraft and 2 employees, so they had 3 aircraft all up, and they were coming back to the sim, and they were getting hit a massive bill, so they weren't really making money, they were just losing it. That'd probably be good. I think flight hours all right. Per nautical mile would probably be pretty good as well. Yeah. But it'd have to be appropriately balanced though, wouldn't it? It would definitely have to be appropriately balanced. So let's have a look at what we've got on here. We're about, we're not even halfway yet, but we are going to stay in this valley. We've got some hills to head over there. Probably could have come around this way, to be honest, rather than go over those hills. I don't know what height they're at. I don't think they're too high at all, so we should be all right. We should be all right. Are you not? Okay. They have FSX and P3D listed. Okay. Drop the kids off at the pool, Flash. Oh, yes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. What I will do is I will actually leave the aircraft flying because we're actually not in control. We're doing a VFR flight, so we're not under controls guidance, which means they won't be calling us. So I can probably actually leave it flying while we're doing it, while I go and make myself a coffee and stuff. That's probably the best bet. Good thing you're watching me on a tablet so you can still listen. Yes. Yes. Flying along quite well. Oh, you reckon you might have found it, Nerg? As of October 2024, early indications show compatibility with FSC. Oh, okay. There you go. Interesting. All right, I'm going to go and make a cup of coffee. I will be back soon. Well, we're still alive. We're still alive. That's a good thing, right? What are we? 43 nautical miles from our destination. Those hills aren't that big that are in front of us. You have enough cash to pay off your backlog of debt on your aircraft. Did you just have a look into it? Done some updating and look at the website as well. Cool. So there was a couple of games that I was considering streaming today. So I'll tell you what those games were and tell me yay or nay. So far, says Christina. Tell me a yay or a nay. Right. Let's have a look at. So I was looking at the possibility of. Flying. Of playing Fishing North Atlantic today. I was looking at the possibility of playing. The Necromancer's Tale, the RPG. I was looking at that again and playing that. Would you guys like to see some more of that or not? 930 feet, so we need to be at about 2,000 feet by the time we get there. Current weather, 4 knots from 130. Visibility's good. Temperature's 29 degrees. Don't really need that pitot on, do we? Let's get rid of that. Not at 29 degrees. Well, it is 9 degrees out here, actually, so it's probably a little bit chill. We'll leave it on for now. Okay, I believe we are landing on runway probably 10. We're going final for runway 28 right by the looks of it. Okay. Two eight right. Well, we're going in with a bloody tailwind. We should be landing on runway 10, but I don't know whether the game's going to actually let us do that. Yeah, to either. And then I was going to play some more ships at sea as well. I still want to keep building up my little ship empire on that. So I'm up to doing like $17 million hauls per run at the moment. It is recommending that runway there, which makes sense. Okay, let's start our descent. Let's descend down to 2,000 feet. We may have to cut that out a little bit. Let's bring our heading bug around to where we're going. Let's change to heading mode and VNAV mode. I'm hoping that it'll maybe altitude mode, and we'll drop down. We'll go down sort of at 500. Yeah, that should be all right. Yeah, 450 feet per minute. It's kind of always really hard because I decided last night that I was going to fly. That was the idea anyway. Aerodrome, which is 1190. So we'll set that once we get a little bit closer. And what I want to do is I want to see because it set me up to land on 28, right? But the wind is indicating that we should be landing on runway. That we should be landing on runway 10. So I'm sort of considering actually doing that and seeing what the game does and whether it penalizes us or not. It might be worth testing out. Did you guys did forget to remind me to balance the tanks, so that's your fault. Yeah, and then I get to like, 1 hour out of streaming and I'm sitting there going, oh, morning Oz, how you going, mate? I didn't see you there, buddy. Sorry about that. I missed that. How are you doing? Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see because if this is recommending if this is actually recommending it's recommending runway 10 right or 10 left, we would probably be landing on 10 left, I reckon, with the left-hand pattern. So interestingly enough, the game wants us to run on 28 right, land on 28 right. And like I said, the issue with that is we're landing with a bloody tailwind, so I don't know whether it'll change it. I forgot to change it back to middle, Christina. Just got here. Welcome. Just getting here. We're just coming in for our we're descending for our first landing for our first job for the morning, so yeah. Difficult to decide whether or not to where to land. I should really be landing on 10 left, I think. This job's worth 100 grand, but I am going to test out landing on the proper runway rather than the runway that that career mode's telling me to land on. So we're having sort of that wind issue. We get over here and the wind is indicating that we should be landing on runway 10 right or left, but the career mode wants me to land on 28 right. Doing a bit of space engineering. All right, I might actually slow the aircraft down a little bit now, I think. So we'll take a little bit out of that. I do need to start, now we're starting to get a bit lower, I do need to start bringing my mixture in a little bit, which I will do. Just let the aircraft glide its way down. It should be pretty good. Paid up your PBY and Yak 18. The only planes you own. Oh, really? In good old FS economy. So once we do get down here and we get back to the office, we're going to have a look at, we'll have to consider our options and try and decide what we're going to do. Now, I do believe that this will be taking us straight in, basically. Yeah, straight in. So... about 12 minutes before we get to the airport. We're 23 nautical miles away. I think we should be okay with our descent. I might slow us down just a little bit more. It's got these little hills to go over, which we should get a little bit of turbulence going over these hills, I think. We get a little bit of updraft and stuff. Yeah, I think we are going to go 10 left. You can also already see that we're getting a little bit of turbulence from there. I think we'll do pretty well, actually. Gina Freeman's now playing No Man's Sky. You don't see those little Discord pop-ups, do you? No, you can. No, once you've done your IFR rating, you can do IFR flights. Voltimus, welcome, by the way. Welcome to the stream. It's nice to have you here. So no, you can do VFR. Sorry, IFR flights. No problem once you've done your rating and stuff like that. So, which is pretty cool. The only thing that I'm concerned about is, and I had it previously on a shorter runway. Career mode wanted me to land on a specific runway, and I had a really strong tailwind. So I'm going to test out landing on the wrong runway today and see if we actually lose any points for it. But you can definitely, when you submit your flight plan, if I bring this up, when you actually send your flight plan, you've got options, ATC and avionics and stuff like that. You can set your flight plan to whether it's a VFR or an IFR flight. So you've got all of your, so you can use Victor Airways, Jet Airways, No Airways, but you can actually set up a VFR flight and have to actually fly it. So, which is pretty cool. For me at the moment, I'm flying VFR because it is a nice day out here, and it was VFR conditions. So, and that meant that when it was coffee time, IFR if they want you to go to final, and what if you land on the opposite side? Well, that's what we're going to test out now, because at the moment, it's asking me to my flight plan at the moment. So we're going to test out whether it actually penalizes you for that. My flight plan at the moment wants me to land on runway 28 right, which is what the game calculated for me when we took off. But in regards to actual weather, you can see that runway 10 left and 10 right are the runways that we should be landing on. They're recommended runways for the airport with the current conditions. So, so we're kind of So I'm going to test that out now. And see whether we do get penalised for doing that. And if we do get penalised for doing it, I'm guessing if even when you set up an IFR flight, you're probably also going to sort of suffer that. So 10 left is at 101. Asphalt, beautiful. All right, let's keep this moving. Make sure that we're getting over these hills all right. That was actually a pretty good descent, so. Just going to bring my heading bug around a little bit. So let's test it out anyway and see, shall we? Let's bring up our ATC window. Let's. We should have been tuned. We should have actually been tuned to it. There's an Iveco factory here. Can't see Lima at the moment. So we'll wait and then we'll call in. 2,000 feet puts us just above, almost 1,000 above the, or just over 1,000 above the runway. So. So we're going to go for 10 left. We'll do a left-hand pattern. You also fly Cessna cargo missions. Yeah. Yeah, I reckon I'm working towards this, the 208 and starting. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing, Voltimus. I am actually enjoying flying the 172, but it's going to be nice to get to the Caravan, and then I'm going to work towards the Sky Cargo thing, which is really, really good. I'm hoping that we start getting more aircraft in the sim that are actually going to be career compatible, because at the moment, like most of the add-on aircraft aren't career compatible. So we're about 9.6 nautical miles from there, so we should really be pretty close. Frequencies 1198.8. 119.8. Let's just pop that in for a sec. We are on that frequency, so we're just going to wait until we have our well, we can change it to 10 left here, so maybe that's a thing. Maybe that is a thing. There you go. So I've just changed it in there. And if I send that to, yep, can't be synchronized. That might be all right. That might actually be all right. That might have solved our problem. Let's see how it goes, shall we? I still can't see traffic on here. Lima, right there. There we go. Select a runway for landing. Runway 10 left is what we're going to land on. Announce a full stop landing. Announce our position.
Lima India Mike Alpha traffic. Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform. 7 miles east, 2300. Inbound to land. Runway 10 left. Lima India Mike Alpha traffic.
I think VIP passenger missions do give you a fair few credits, but from what I understand, running cargo is probably, like in your own business, is probably the best way to go, from what I can tell. So All right, that will be the airport in front of us right there. We're going to hit runway 10 left, which is 101 degrees, I believe. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the course. Course is inside. It's not going to do it. All right, that's fine. That's fine. We'll let it go. So yeah, I believe that like when you start flying the jets and stuff for VIP passenger stuff, I think there's a lot of money in that, Voltimus. All right, we'll let this beast settle. We're going to drop in a stage of flaps in a sec. Right, one stage of flaps. I'm going to trim the aircraft down to compensate for that. We're going to turn the autopilot off and fly this by hand now. So the autopilot is off. A little bit of juice in there. Mixture is rich. Let's just trim the aircraft. We're going to downwind. I can't see a left and a right there. That is definitely our airport, isn't it? Let's just have a squiz here. It's definitely our airport. Yep. Okay, cool. Let's just watch that speed. Do not overspeed. Do not overspeed, Simi. Last thing you want to do is damage your aircraft, right? Right, mixture's rich. I'm going to throw our fuel pump on. Bring the pitot off because it is pretty warm out here. Is that 10 left? That is 28 right, which means that is probably 10 left, I reckon. Interestingly enough. Can't see the runway markings there. Ah, there would be a grass strip out there as well, I reckon. I reckon 10 right might be a grass strip. Okay.
Lima India Mike Alpha traffic. Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform is on upwind. Runway 10 left. Lima India Mike Alpha traffic.
All right, lovely. Okay, I'm going to put my tracking on again now. Going to drop the trim down a little bit. Not too much, not too much. It does want to fly upwards, I can tell you. Right, I'm going to go another stage of flaps. I'm going to turn around, trim the nose down a little bit just to compensate for the flaps. Let's announce that we are on crosswind.
Lima India Mike Alpha traffic. Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform is on crosswind. Runway 10 left. Lima India Mike Alpha traffic.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard with this. I'm going to have to sort eye tracking out because she's a little bit difficult with the old eye tracking, I can tell you. All right, a little bit more speed, thank you. Give the aircraft a little bit of trim. Got one full stage of flaps. Let's announce we're on final.
Lima India Mike Alpha traffic. Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform is on
Got some
final.
trees as well.
Runway 10 left to land. Lima India Mike Alpha traffic.
I'm going to throw in another stage of flaps because we're going to have to drop down below those trees, which is going to be a little bit of a problem. Just trim the nose of the aircraft down. I wish they'd just code something in that that basically like removes trees from a certain distance off the threshold of the runway. That'd be really, really nice. Okay. Should be okay. A little bit more speed. So we've got a headwind with a little bit of a crosswind, I think that it said, so a little bit of a crosswind from the right, so let's trim the nose of the aircraft down a bit. Let's get a little bit more speed up. Sort of getting thrown around a little bit here as well. Controls aren't feeling overly responsive. Let's just bring this beast in and just drop him down here. A little bit of rudder. And bleed off, bleed off, bleed off, bleed off, bleed off. Little bit hard. Little bit hard. Not overly happy about that. Wants us to taxi up there. There we go. They've actually fixed it a little bit. All right, flaps up. We'll turn off the tracking. Bring our flaps up a little bit more. And one final stage of flaps. Just roll into here. Nice little airport, actually. Yeah, so I reckon they got a. I reckon 10 right is a grass strip, and they're towing. They're obviously towing gliders up there. So, all right, in we go. Lovely. Let's get into our hold short area here, and stop. Taxi lights on, landing lights off, fuel pump off, flaps are up, flaps are fully up.
Lima India Mike Alpha traffic. Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform is taxiing to parking. Lima India Mike Alpha traffic.
Just going to get run over there. They still haven't fixed that. Simi's air cargo and tree trimming service, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to read your messages in a sec, Voltimus. I'm just going to get in here and park up. What do you got there? I will eventually get into running passengers, like doing a passenger service in some twins, I reckon. Probably things like the DC the DC3, DC6 would be a nice one to get into. Dude, we're just going to run this guy over because he's like just standing in exactly the wrong spot there. Let's bring this around here. Don't get too close because sometimes Microsoft can actually mess that up. All right. Beautiful. Strobe lights are off. Nav lights are off. Taxi lights are off. Bring our avionics down and let's starve this beast. There we go. Beast is starved and that is done. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right, airline procedures 75%. Don't know why. Don't know why. Radio communications were my most important mistake. Don't know why, because I followed all of the radio communications there. Probably because I didn't ask for flight following, I'm guessing. But it's an A flight. Airline procedures, well, I was flying VFR, and yeah, I don't know why I did a left-hand pattern there. So, all right, so you got Transall C160. You bought it in 20 a few years ago. Now you can't wait to use it in the cargo career mode. Yeah, oh yeah, 500 million or something. Does it show up? Is it cargo? Is it career mode compatible, Voltimus? We known on the patch a few months ago that they've fixed tree problem, but I guess not everywhere. I mean, that wasn't too bad, that one. Aircraft performance details. Make all necessary announcements on the radio. Well, I thought I did. Interesting. You heard it can be. That's good. That's good. I'm looking so forward to actually having the ability to get some DLC aircraft. So we got 133 grand. We got well, it wasn't bad weather. It was beautiful weather, but we got a bonus anyway. Reputation bonus, base income, no skip bonus, which is good. That's always really, really good. It was when it pinged you right at the start when you have. That's right. When I was having the brake issues and it wouldn't put the park brake on. That's right, Flash. That's where it pinged me for radio. Good remembering. Good remembering, Flash. All right, lovely. So we've lost. Why did we lose reputation there? Your highest was 72. It's good when you start getting up and you start getting those longer flights, like the hour and a half flights and stuff. That was supposed to be a 1 hour one, but it's taken us an hour and bloody 40 minutes to get there. I don't know why I lost reputation then. I really don't. All right, but anyway, we've got $572,000 to play with. One of the things that I did want to do, I'm gonna actually record this. I do want to do the high performance endorsement and the turboprop so that we can eventually get the caravan. Wouldn't mind doing a multi-engine at some point, but I think we're going to go high performance and turboprop for now. I reckon. So that's where we're going to go. But what I did want to do was I wanted to go into all companies and manage the company. And I wanted to have a look at what aircraft are actually available in used aircraft. So your reputation's messed up after a few crashes a few months ago. Oh, really? When it was all messed up, yeah. So you need to almost like work to like you just yeah. There's a lot of working your way up too. So what I was considering buying another aircraft. See, I want to work up towards the Sky Courier for cargo runs, Voltimus. Arboreal Air. that's a really good one, Christina. I like that. The low price of 270 mil, you can own a Beluga. Yeah. 270 mil. So yeah, my goal is to work up to the courier because I'd love to run cargo in the courier. Yeah, 5 mil. I know. But I'd also like to. There's no point in me buying a H125 yet because that's bugged out in the latest patch. But I'd also eventually like to get to flying like a de Havilland, a Dash 6. Loans would be really good actually. But, you know, then you kind of it does look like a good drug hauling plane. Hey, I'm talking to people on Twitch and YouTube, by the way, Voltimus, in case you're wondering why I'm answering stuff like drug hauling plan. But it would allow you probably to sort of skip a little bit too much, maybe. I don't know. See, if you want to do a brand new aircraft, like you're paying what are you paying? Like, well, 550 for a brand new aircraft. That's not too bad for a cargo. We have enough money to actually do that, you know, don't we? Used aircraft. They may. I mean, they may eventually bring loans in anyway. What's a second-hand caravan going to cost us? About 2.5 mil, 2.6. So it's still a fair way to go on that. They do have the PC-12. They do have the PC-12. A PC-12. Can I see them in here? There is not in here because. Well, I don't know why it's not in here actually. To be honest. So the one thing is, if you have a look at, say, you have a look at an aircraft and you go, okay, that there, you need to, it says to maintain. So there's landing gear that's done that. Last known condition, delegate maintenance. So that'd probably be a good aircraft to buy. So I'm going to buy that aircraft for 378. It's in its cargo variant. Well, because what I want to do is I want to test out having another pilot flying for me, having AI pilots flying for me, and hope that it actually increases my income load. So highest range, and the PC-12 was looking good for that. So yeah, what I wanted to do, Voltimus, is I want to test out having a pilot working for us. So I'm not greedy, Christina. I'm not greedy. Yeah, the PC-12 is nice. It is a nice aircraft. All right, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to put basic insurance on it. Which is good. Choose a delivery location. Where is our delivery location going to be? Oh, do you reckon I can deliver it to, say I wanted to deliver it to maybe I wanted to deliver it down there. I don't know. Whereabouts are we at the moment? We're there. What was our home base? I keep forgetting what our home base is. I wish it'd show your home base as your home base. That's Munich. I think we were over here somewhere. Let's deliver it to Innsbruck. Why not? Yeah, it was close to Munich. Next. Purchase. It is done. So we now have 2 aircraft delivered to Innsbruck. Cargo, basic insurance.
Now you own more than 1 aircraft. You could consider hiring additional crew members to operate them. After all, you can only fly 1 aircraft at a time yourself.
Braunschweig, that's right. Got to write that down. Can you write that down, Flash, please?
Hiring crew to fly your other aircraft will allow your company to bring in income even when you're not in the pilot seat yourself. However, you still need to monitor every aircraft for wear and tear.
Okay, there you go. All right, so we need to assign a pilot. No, we assign a pilot to that one. That's the new one. So I don't think we actually have like the ability to I'm not sure we have the ability to actually specifically select a pilot. So let's delegate maintenance. It's going to cost us 24 grand to bring that into good condition, which is really, really good. So thanks, Flash. You're going to get some passive income. Well, I'm hoping that it's going to be every day, because she just said that even when you're not flying, that aircraft is going to make you passive income, and that's a good thing in my opinion. From what it was, I believe we didn't necessarily we couldn't necessarily, unless we were flying, earn income. So we've still got 170 grand in the bank, which is really, really good. You'll fly for me? Just don't inspect your license you don't have. You get like, what, 5 to 7K per flight, Voltimus. Every time you log in, you've got like 5 to 7 extra $1,000. Is that right, or is that what you mean? All right, so we've got the 2 aircraft now, which is really, really good. No passive income every day. Okay. All right, so we've got we have an aircraft over here. Assign pilot is on. Does it automatically assign a pilot or not? That's the question. There's a medevac flight. There's a 1 hour flight for 30 grand. We could probably do that one, I reckon. It'll cost us a bit to transfer our aircraft over there, but that's okay. It's a 1 hour flight, which would be pretty good. Not every time you log on, just once a day. Oh, yeah, okay. Every 24 hours. So it does cover the cost of your insurance, most definitely. Let's have a squiz at that one. We will do an IFR flight today. It's going to cost us 1,200 to get our aircraft there, which is perfectly fine. We're flying into here. Let's do a Victor Airways flight. No, let's do a No Airways flight. Let's change that to straight in, which is good. And flight level can be maybe we'll try 6,000 for now. This should be an IFR flight, I believe. Let's have a look at what the weather is down there. So we'd be looking at runway 34 up there as a landing at this point in time. So what do we got there? It wants us to land on runway 16. Let's land on runway 34, which should be good. At arrival, no procedure selected. So that's the only procedure we can have is direct in. We could go Victor Airways, or we could just go direct. Find route. There we go. That should be okay. Departure from runway 23. What runway is actually in use here? We should be departing from runway 05. So let's just change that, runway 05. Cool. All right. So we will now send that to ATC and avionics. Lovely. One offer available for the mission bit. I don't know. You get info on the screen. That was the income and has the cost. Cool. As long as it covers the cost of one offer's available for this mission. That's trying to sell me a probably a piece of scenery for one of these airports that's in the marketplace. So it just says up there, it just says that there's one offer's available. So there's probably scenery for one of these airports, I would say. Accept that mission. We are flying in that. And I am going to go and before we take this flight, I'll go and make myself a cuppa after I've remembered to manage my fuel, right? Fuel and payload. Let's manage our fuel. That's what's recommended. Never run with what's recommended, ever. Let's refuel to there. Back. All right. So this will be an 80-gram mission. Got 89 nautical miles to fly. I will be back in a sec. All right, let's see how we go on this flight. Hopefully it will be an IFO one. Remove chocks on the pre-flight inspection because you can't. Oh, really? Crap. No, I haven't had that problem, Voltimus. I've got nobody stole my Mars bar, my stream Mars bar this time, so I'm actually pretty happy about that. So I'm just going to open up my. You can probably hear me opening it up, or maybe not. All right, let's fly. I actually thought it was nighttime, but it's not. It was the same bug after the update, but you can't remove them since the last patch, really. Let's have a look. You can see mine are showing there. But only in career mode, really. All right, let's pause the tracking for now. Get rid of you. We'll throw you on. We'll throw the beacon on. Throw the fuel pump on. And bring the mixture in. Crack the throttle. Should be okay to start up.
Captain, are you
There we go.
ready? Great. It's Sabina, your dispatcher. You know? Just a quick
You
reminder
know.
about today's job. You're carrying bulk on this flight. Standard shipment for our partner based in Scani's, but super important. You must reach Scani's airport ASAP. Our skids are built to handle turbulence but maintain a constant flight speed. Let's keep our delivery on time and safe. All relevant information is in your flight packet, which is uploaded on your map as a reference. Safe travels.
Safe travels, eh? I've got the honeycomb yoke and the throttle quadrant. And then I've got some Cytec pedals. Then I've got a Toby 5, which I'm finding I'm not using as much as I kind of wanted to. Got an outside air temperature of 23 degrees. We should be all right there. Bring that up to about 1,000. Check that everything's. And I'm gonna select our right tank again. So Flash, it's up to you to remind me to keep my eye on that, so that we can balance it. All right.
Payer and ground. Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform. Request taxi for east departure.
Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform. Taxi to and hold short of runway 23 using taxiway Sierra Yankee Tango. Contact tower on 119.7 when ready.
All right, that's our clearance.
Taxi to and hold short runway 23 via taxiway Sierra Yankee Tango. Cessna Victor Tango uniform.
And bring our autopilot up to 6,000. Trim is set for takeoff. I'm going to taxi with one lot of flaps on. Taxi lights are on. Fuel pump can come off for now. we'll be fine while we're taxiing. It looks like we're taxiing out that way, so brakes on, park brake off, and off we go. Everything's clear. At least the park brake didn't stuff us up that time, right? Soldier, Honeycomb, Alpha, and Bravo, and now you use your old Thrustmaster. Oh, really? Oh, you're waiting for... Oh, they're really expensive, aren't they, Voltimus? You're reminding me to keep the fuel balanced. So why did you sell that? Why did you sell those? Didn't like them, or you just wanted to upgrade, or? Let's just watch that those knots there for taxiing. I think maybe they've tweaked those a little bit. Check our flight controls. I do need to roll like that, because we've got a little bit of a wind coming from the left hand side, quite a strong one. So it's going to be an interesting takeoff. Not out yet. Oh, really? So you've got to wait until they come out. And I built myself a sit-in simulator years ago, and I've built two now. I had great times with them. Great times. But yeah, I can't remember the yokes and stuff that I used to have, but I ended up getting the honeycomb stuff when 2020 came out. Helicopters over there. And it wants me to taxi straight through the tails of the helicopters. I don't know why it brought me around this way when there's a taxiway right up there. So they still haven't fixed any of that stuff, have they? Like, I'm going to get penalized if I don't follow the taxi line. Hopefully I don't have aircraft crashes on, right? I know that our wings will be clipping through that, but I'd rather not go off the taxiway because I'll get penalised more for that. So, yeah, it definitely wants to. It definitely wants to weather vane into the wind. I can feel it. Yeah, thankfully you can't. It's a bit annoying though. Like it really draws from the realism of the whole thing, doesn't it? When you've got to drive through aircraft. Okay, we're so I can bring my ailerons around now. I had hard right stick on that. Why it didn't just let us taxi straight down there and it had to send us around where the helicopters are, I have no idea. All right, lovely. Yeah, I'm still in the process of setting up my Toby, so it can be a little bit erratic at the moment. Taxi lights, landing lights, strobe lights on, fuel pump on for takeoff, one stage of flaps, trim is good. Let's request our takeoff clearance.
Payer and Tower, Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform, ready for departure to the east at runway 23.
Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform. QNH 1016 east departure approved. Clear for takeoff runway 23.
Okay, lovely. Let's acknowledge that.
Cleared for takeoff runway 23. Cessna Victor Tango uniform.
Brakes on. Off. Taxi into 2-3 and we are ready to go.
Geneva Tower, Easy 1564, 71 miles northeast, inbound visual runway 04 approach.
Easy 1564, Geneva Tower. QNH 1016. Cleared visual runway 04 approach.
Okay, considerable crosswind here.
Cleared visual runway 04 approach. Easy 1564.
You've still got to be careful because if you're moving along here and you move along here too fast, it'll actually penalise you for taxiing too fast, believe it or not. Okay, and we are ready to go. Airspeed. It's 45 knots. 50 knots. And rotate. A little bit of trim. A little bit more power. Above 300, flaps up. Trim to compensate. Just hand fly him out here for now. Now getting a little bit of wind shear.
Uniform. Continue for east departure.
Balance tanks.
Payer and Tower, Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform, continue for east departure.
Okay, we'll do our climbing turn. Balance tanks, eh? It doesn't seem to want to. It doesn't actually seem to want to climb too well at the moment. Okay, fuel pump off. Important part. Don't forget that. Yes, it's your job to make sure that I don't forget it. All right, we're stabilizing a little bit now. 74 knot climb. We'll fly flying upwind. Let's just trim the aircraft a little. Ooh. That trim stuffed up a little bit, didn't it? There we go. We'll bring our altitude around, our heading bug around to there. And we will now do our right turn for an east departure. Bring the heading bug around a little. Autopilot, VNav, and nav. Let the aircraft steady itself. It's going to do the whole. Let's really think about this and approach this at almost 90 degrees, which you wouldn't do. Climb to 5,000 feet. Keep our climb at about 75 knots. For now. Fuel tanks are almost balanced. Keep your eye on those, Flash. Got a considerable amount of fuel flow in there. But we are climbing out, so I might balance those lines now. Okay. Cool. Looking good. Looking good. Throw that up there. There we go. All right, everything's looking stable. We're climbing out at 75 knots, 600 was
Victor Tango uniform. Leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
excellent. Acknowledge that handoff.
Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform. Frequency change.
Pane approach. Request flight following.
Payer and approach. Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform is type Cessna Skyhawk. 3 miles east of Lima Sierra Charlie X-ray Kilo 4000. Request flight following.
Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform. Payer and approach. Squawk 0021.
0021. Ident. On alt.
Cessna Victor Tango uniform. Radar contact 3 miles east of Lima Sierra Charlie X-ray Kilo 4400. QNH 1016.
We'll set that QNH.
Roger. Cessna Victor Tango uniform.
I will, Flash. All right, good stuff. We are getting it is pretty windy out here. What do we got? We've got an 8 knot crosswind. Or maybe 6 gusting to 8, 9. So it's definitely affecting us. Flaps are up. Fuel pump is off. Landing lights on. Everything else is okay. Pitot. It's 11 degrees out there. We'll throw that in. Once we start getting up a little bit, we'll start reducing our fuel flow and saving some fuel. There you go. Good to go. Thank you very much, Voltimus. It was nice to have you here. It was nice to have you. Yeah, come back again. I'm here every Saturday, so It was very nice for you of you to hang around and interact. I appreciate it, and thank you very much for the sub. I'll hopefully see you in the comments on YouTube. Enjoy, buddy. Thank you. You did get a pretty yummy coffee, Christina, from Roaster last order. Ethiopia, Yurgachev, it's fab. It's fab. You get some nice ones, don't you? You actually get some really, really nice ones. All right, we are cruising. Let's just have a squiz at what the weather is at the moment. 3 knots from 30, so we are set for the we are set to arrive on the right runway by the looks of it, which is 3-4 for now. So we'll see how we go. Do they have? They do. It's not a VFR frequency. All right, cool. So we should be good. You do. Generally, you also got a Papua New Guinea. You also got a Papua New Guinea, which you haven't tried yet. Nice. Papua New Guinea. All right, let's have a look at setting our throttle, our RPM. Let's adjust our EGT. Or adjust our mixture. Looking for that peak, which is probably getting pretty close. It's probably about there. Lovely. And bring our RPM back down a little bit to save ourselves a little bit of fuel, yeah? Lovely. All right, we are set. Everything's in the green. Everything's looking good there. Happy with that. All right, cool. Looking lovely out there, isn't it? A lot of cloud and stuff about, so I'm just surprised that I thought it would have put it through as an IFR flight, but
Cessna Victor Tango Uniform contact burn approach on 127.325. Good day.
there we go.
127.325 for Cessna Victor Tango Uniform. Burn approach, Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango Uniform, 6,000.
Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango Uniform. Burn approach. QNH 1016. Radar contact. Continue.
All right, places fairly decent prices and they ship quick. If the post office doesn't F it up, yeah, post offices. If your post office is anything like Australia Post, my God. It's only a couple of hours away from you and you need to go and visit them. Hokie goes to a place in the town just over from ours, and she gets that. They do their roasting there, and then they've got their garage set up, and it's got like a vending machine, a coffee vending machine, but it's a big area. So you get to select from all the different blends, and you pick the blend you want, and it sort of robotically picks it up and vends it to you. So, which is pretty cool. Flash, you're right on. You're right on. Almost. So I could probably, as long as you remind me, I could probably throw it over to the right tank, and just let those two little arrows line up. But we are pretty balanced, so yeah. So she gets her beans from there now, Christina. But nothing fancy like you. We're going to have to figure out if there is a fancy sort of delivery thing like the one that you do. And so that we can enjoy some very different flavors and stuff and find something that's really, really good that we really like. Let's give ourselves a little bit more oomph on the throttle there, just to give ourselves just a little bit more speed. I think 6,000 feet's probably okay. We'd be in strife if we were going over there. We would have to increase our altitude quite a bit. Is it expensive? Oh, they have an actual cafe with breakfasts and everything. Well, you're definitely going to have to go and visit. Take me there. I'll meet you there for breakfast. It is flying us in a very interesting way, isn't it? It's going to fly us straight over the bloody top of those things. Maybe it's going to fly us in through a valley, maybe. Hopefully. Very cool, though. Very, very cool. Yeah, we may really have to keep our eye on this, I think. Their prices are pretty decent. Cool. Decent prices are always good as well. We're going to fly in that direction as well. I think we are going to have to climb a little bit, guys. I really do. There. Let's bring our altitude up to about 8,000 maybe. 8,100. Let's do a VNAV. Vertical speed. We may go up 300. At 300 maybe. Just dawn on you, can you accidentally get out of the aeroplane while in flight? Looks like you can. That's interesting, but I'm not going to try, Spurk. I didn't even think of that. Maybe there's something in here that prevents you from doing it. So their prices are decent compared to other roasters you've tried. If they have nice like really nice blends and stuff, then they're worth sticking with, aren't they? Really. So it's going to be really interesting to see whether or not we actually get penalized for flying into the clouds. But we do have our IFR rating, so might actually be pretty good at this altitude, mightn't we? So I might just drop that down to 6,500 maybe. And we'll let it level out there because it looks like we're in the direction we're flying. We're probably actually pretty good. So bring that throttle up a little bit more. Give ourselves a little bit more speed. Don't know why that dropped off. Fuel tanks, Flash. You forgot to tell me, mate. Too late. Useless. Useless. All right, cool. Looking good. Looking good. Ah, yes, you did. You've said it about 5 times. Every time you remember. All right, cool. So we should be good now. Everything should be good. Our next waypoint is 26.3 nautical miles away. And everything is looking good. It's a little bit nasty up here. It's only sort of 6 knots, but it's throwing us around a little bit nonetheless. Nonetheless. Well, it's actually a really nice day outside here, and I'm pretty well inside a dark studio, streaming, and the weather's so nice out there. I do have a bit of work to help Hokey with, though, today. And I've got to mow the lawns. The little one's having some friends over tomorrow. I've got to make sure that all the lawns are mowed. Christina, these people that do these roasters, do they, like all of the stuff that they have, do they then keep those blends so you can get them anytime? Go for a chill cruise, you reckon? Cool. $37.7. It's cold. It's cold where you are, Spurt. Yeah, 37.7 degrees Celsius. That's cold, isn't it, Flash? Well, if you're thinking of going for a drive today, Flash, you can come over here and mow my lawns. Oh, it'd be a shame if you got like one of the limited time blends and it was really, really good. And you're like, oh, I really want to get that one all the time. You outbacks are sick. Nice and comfortable, Flash said, 37.7. Finally stayed down in the 70s for the past few days and it's been wonderful. Your weather would be starting to change a bit now, wouldn't it? Starting to head more towards a little bit cold. Take you about 4 hours. I'll fly over there and land my helicopter in your next to your pool, Flash. Oh look, we've got a different logo on the back of our plane now than what we had last flight. This isn't the new plane, is it? Sierra Victor Tango uniform. No, it's not. It's the same one. So, interesting. Still got a good month and a half of possibly yucky heat. Oh, okay. We're starting to get into a little bit of sort of better weather now. But apparently this coming week's supposed to rain something shocking all week. Thanks, Spurky. Thanks for the scream, mate. I wonder whether my other plane is, and you can't actually look at it. You can't look at the map or anything and see if your other plane's out there flying somewhere. Be nice to know if he was out there making me money. He or she, anyway. We've at least done a thing anyway. We've we've bought a second aircraft. We've hired a new employee. I did not know that it's supposed to be raining this week. It is less than ideal. Yeah, I think not as much up in the hills as down in Adelaide, but I think there's one day we're supposed to, up in the hills, we're supposed to get about 20 mil. But yeah, it's supposed to be pretty hefty down in Adelaide, so. Which where you are, you probably cop it more than what I would. Don't know. Maybe we're about the same distance away from the city. Yeah, that's exactly right. Being the hills, cop it anyway. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it's definitely a flight, isn't it? Did you enjoy your scream while you were flying over there, Spec? And up over your place, yeah. You set up perfectly for it there. With the old weather. Wonder what Noble's doing today. He's a bit rude today, isn't he? I'm hoping this isn't going to turn us directly towards that that high hill. We may need to divert around it. Oh, all right, we've got some lakes to go over and stuff as well. It should be nice. No, he's not allowed to. More like Noble Noble Rambler, more like Noble Napper today. Yeah. Allegedly. No, we don't. We don't give him permission. We do not give him permission, Christina. I reckon we may need to climb up to 7,500 here. Let's go vertical speed. We'll climb up at 250, 300 to be alright. I think. Just check our mixture. Right about there is the sweet spot. All right, because that's going to turn us over that.
Victor Tango uniform, contact M and approach on 119.5. Good day.
119.5 for Cessna Victor Tango uniform. M and approach, Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform, 6700.
Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform. M and approach. QNH 1017. Radar contact. Continue.
Oh, QNH has changed. All right, lovely. Yeah, we're going to have to get over the top of those. I don't know whether it's going to be 8,000 or whether 7.5 is going to do it. But we'll soon see. We'll soon see. Just a nice, steady climb. It's going to probably take us into a bit of cloud by the looks of it, which may get a little bit rough for our cargo, I reckon. I wonder whether... Yeah, it's starting to get... definitely starting to get cloudy up here. We're sort of climbing into cloud now. Excuse me. Crane on the drop deck wiped out a stable... Oh, really? Stable pole? Well, that's going to be expensive for his boss, isn't it? Hey? Oh, look, Max playing Lord of the Rings Return to Moria, and he's not watching the stream. Can you believe that? Oh, the power lines, that would hurt. That would hurt. So not what you want to do is hook the power lines with a crane. Did he? He sent me a copy of it as well, Spurk. A few months ago. I've had a little bit of a go of it, but not too much yet. He's a nice bloke, that Mac, isn't he, eh? I think we may need to move to 8,000 feet actually. So now that they've moved into a smaller house, it's much noisier. Generally, it calls you now that he's driving somewhere, does he? At least he calls you, Christina. Yeah, I'm not overly impressed about going through these clouds. When we're around such terrain. Do you? Oh, lucky you. Everybody calls you. I'm going to call you on Monday. Your Sunday night. I'm going to call you your Sunday night. My Monday morning. Yeah, we've definitely got a bit of cloud cover down there. I kind of want to get a little bit above this cloud, just to make sure we can see any peaks. I'm guessing that it is. I only got into it spurt for, I reckon maybe, oh, I don't know. Probably only played 30 minutes of it or something. It's a lovely mountainside, isn't it? Yeah, lucky we have our IFR rating. Or we'd be in strife. We would be in strife. I think about 10 a.m. my time, which is like nearly 3 hours ago, when I start the stream, Christina, normally. Maybe a little bit earlier. Our windscreen's getting a little bit dirty, so the aircraft do get dirty in career mode, so be sort of careful of that. All right, heading towards 9,000 feet now to see if we can get across the top of these clouds. I think we're okay in regards to terrain, so it's just better to be safe than sorry. Cool, Christina. Definitely do it. My Monday morning, so that is your Sunday night, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, we're definitely high enough now. But again, you're better to be safe than sorry, aren't you? So it's really high over there, so we don't know what we're going to come across when we get a little bit further up the track. But judging by the colours, it's probably going to actually be okay. So lovely down there, isn't it? Lovely. There's some streaming of Return to Moria, and it looks good. You've heard bad reviews of Tales of the Shire, though. I've heard some bad reviews of Tales of the Shire as well. We're at 8,400. Another 500 feet to climb. We're doing all right on our airspeed. Everything's going all right there. And we're going to hit some clouds. So this is going to tell us whether or not we get penalised now that we've got our IFR license. I don't believe that we would get penalised now that we've got our IFR, and it doesn't look like career mode has penalised us for flying into that cloud, so that's a good thing. That's actually a really good thing. We're only 29 nautical miles. We're only about 30 nautical miles from our airport, so that's a thing. It hasn't been very often that since I've been flying 2024 that I've actually flown in clouds. So it's a bit nicer. Almost up at our 9,000 feet. I'm going to have to play a little bit more of that Spurk, I think. Nice big lake there, nestled in amongst all of the mountains. Wow, imagine living there. That'd be a beautiful place in real life, I reckon. You're in one of your ruts. I hate gaming ruts. I hate gaming ruts so much. That's why you need one of those sort of go back to games where you can where you try not to play it. You try to play it as little as possible so that you have something to go back to when you get in that in those little ruts. Ghost, how you going, mate? Flight's going well. Flight's going well. Should I was planning on a lower flight, but we did have to get up to 9,000 feet to get across all of these mountains. We're about, I think, 25 nautical miles from our, 22 nautical miles from our destination, which means technically we should really be descending now. We should really be descending, but I'm sort of a little concerned. I want to get over the other side of these hills first, so I'm going to have to see how we go. How are you, mate? Good? Oh, Spec. Honestly. Keep him busy. There's always something to do, right? There is always something to do. All right, let's have a squiz at let's have a squiz at our destination airport and have a look at yeah, runway 34 is still the active runway with a headwind of 3 knots and a cross from the right of 1 knots, which is pretty good. So we're definitely in. We are somewhere in Europe. Somewhere in Europe. Not sure exactly where. But it's looking beautiful down there, though. It's looking nice. The hills are alive to the sound of wolves. Right, cool. But yeah, not too far, not too far. I haven't flown into this airport before. It would actually be good if we could get a little bit of an idea. So it's actually down in that valley there. So what's the airport elevation? Airport elevation is 1,352. We need to be sitting at about 2,400 feet for our approach. And then we'll do a descending turn into runway 34, I believe. It's a small airport. No charts available. Arrivals for 3-4. No approaches listed either, so... Oh, is it? All right, I'm going to have to go and get a cup of coffee. And because we're so close, I'm going to actually pause rather than let it roll. Just so that we don't overshoot. So I will be back in a sec, guys. Bedtime for Kane. Good night, Kane. Rest your legs. Good stuff, mate. Have a good sleep and have a really good weekend. I'll be back in a sec. Right, let's get this flight done, shall we? We shall get this flight done. So our altitude is going to need to be 2,400 feet to be 1,000 above the runway. I'm going to set that to 2,400 feet. I'm not sure when we can do our descent here. That's the only issue that we're going to come across. There we go, 2,400. Spurk. Look at all those brain farts. Spurk is the commander of the fart me. Scared you? Yes, you weren't expecting that, were you? You were not expecting that. Information. With the map down the bottom, no information. Runways. We're looking at a heading of 343 true, 339 magnetic, 1,362, so 2,400 is correct. All right, lovely. Look at that, eh? You know, I'm kind of wondering whether or not we might actually be better happens to you at meetings at work. Is that because you're asleep at meeting at work? Get you every time. I'm actually wondering, I reckon what we might do is we might actually divert this way and then come into the runway that way, I think. The only reason is it's going to bring us down that valley and it's going to allow us to sort of start our descent. So I think we might throw heading in. We might actually do our vertical speed and start dropping at about 500 feet. I think that's a more appropriate way to do it, rather than coming over the top of those high hills and then having to descend hugely. So I'm going to bring our speed down a little bit. Generally too annoyed to fall asleep during meetings. Don't you hate meetings? Don't you just hate meetings? Just bring the speed down a little bit. Come through here. In this weather, I feel a lot better if we are flying through that valley. Bring the RPM down just a little bit. May drop our descent rate down to maybe 600. Should settle at about 600. Bring our speed down a little bit more. And we'll head around the edge here. Definitely the way to go. Just bring a little bit more throttle out. That cruise ship's on a lake. Or is it's probably connected, isn't it? To a whole pile of rivers and stuff. Oh man, it'd be a lovely place to live, wouldn't it? It'd be so nice. I think there's about to be a collision down there. By the looks of it. You know, you can buy DLC yachts and stuff for this that you can use. So you can actually do some sailing in it. I'm not sure what the sailing would be like, but I'm sure it'd be pretty average, but nonetheless, you can do it. Helipad on your yacht? Probably is yachts with helipads. Pretty crazy though that that you can do that. Okay. So we're kind of basically straight through there. The airport is. I can't see it over there, but it is over there somewhere. So we may head along that waterway there. Almost looks kind of man-made, that waterway, doesn't it? What a beautiful area to fly, hey? Let's line this up with that. Screwed across there. And we'll fly direct. There we go. We'll fly direct. We'll bring this in just a little bit so that we get a bit of an idea on where we're going. Okay, so sitting at 82 knots. I'm going to bring the speed down just a little bit more, and then we might bring a bit of flaps in just to slow us down a bit so that we've got enough room to get down to where we need to get. They did bring a new helicopter out as well in the new update, so gonna need to fly around that way just to avoid that hill. It's just around the corner of that hill, 340. We will be coming around and probably doing a right traffic pattern, I would guess. Shannis Airport, nearest airport list. Shannis Airport, tune to traffic. Select a runway for landing. We're going to land on runway 34. We're going to do a full stop landing and we'll announce our position.
Lima Sierra Zulu X-ray traffic. Cessna Delta Sierra Victor Tango uniform. 3 miles northwest, 5,000. Inbound to land, runway 34. Lima Sierra Zulu X-ray traffic.
And bring our mixture in. Bring down one stage of flaps there. Let the aircraft settle itself. So we're going to go around here, I think, and then do a right pattern and a right-hand turn. Currently 2,000 above the altitude that we need to be when we get to the airport, so it's probably worked in really, really well. Didn't want to fly over the top of those and then have to drop down, so it makes sort of more sense to do what we're doing here. We could have gone around that if we had have wanted to, and that would have brought us straight in, but for now I'm feeling all right about what we're doing. We got one stage of flaps. Everything else is okay. We'll leave all that sitting at that. Mixture is rich. We'll keep that rich for the for our approach. Hopefully we get down to the altitude that we need. We are now, what, 1600 below, above? Should be okay at about 700 feet per minute. Do one last check just to make sure that that is still the recommended runway, and it is. 4 knot headwind, 2 knot cross. Everything's good there. Just drop our speed down a little bit more. We're 1,000 feet now. Looking for an indication of the airport itself. Cannot see it anywhere. Might be those buildings there. Or I may be way out. What are we looking at? Down that way. It's not showing overly accurate on that terrain radar, is it? 2,700 feet. Let's throw a little bit of that in. Do a little bit of a turn. It's saying that it's down that way, actually. Okay, that's a little bit strange. A little bit more of that in. Bring ourselves around. How are we doing altitude-wise? We're holding our altitude, which is good. And come back around here. Just counteract that with a little bit of throttle. Bring that around as well. We'll head directly in that direction there, which is straight towards the airport. A little bit of speed happening. And the airport is apparently over that way. It's not matching up with the terrain. So unless it is up on top of that, don't know. Let's have a squiz and see. Watch that speed there. Watch that speed, watch that speed. Don't overspeed with your flaps on. Okay. We will now fly direct to, which is around about there. 340 is in that direction. So we may actually come in and do a left-hand turn. Right. Let's throw that on so that we can need to find this bloody airport first. Bring in another stage of flaps. There it is right there. And that is our runway. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Let's bring in another stage of flaps. Let's turn our autopilot off now. And we will do an overfly. It's runway 34 confirmed. Trim the aircraft with a bit of nose down. Got 2 stages of flaps. Windscreen is definitely getting a little bit dirty, isn't it? Let's change our range a little bit. A little bit more trim down. Slow the beast down a little bit. .340 directly away from the runway now. 500. Bring ourselves in, a little bit more speed, a little bit of trim up there. We'll drop in one more stage of flaps, I think. If I can find my... I can't find my flaps. Somebody's going to say it. Someone's going to say it. In we go. Oh, it's a bit tough. It's a bit tough. Oof, wasn't happy with that at all. See, there we go. There we go. We got the aviator performance entered the taxiway without an announcement. And I'm not even off the runway again. I thought they would have fixed that. So we're going to get in the shit for that. And then we're going to get in the shit for not using our radio as well. Oh man, that annoys me. That really, really, really annoys me. Honestly. Like losing points for that kind of stuff is wrong. Like you shouldn't be losing points for that kind of stuff. Okay, flaps are up. Landing lights are off. Taxi lights are off. Strobes are off. Gonna roll in this way. Got airport staff just all in the way. All in the way. Yeah, dude. Chop, 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 chop. Chop, 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 chop. And around we go. So we're going to get penalised. We are definitely going to get penalised for that. Okay, brake on. Lovely. Taxi lights off. Navigation lights off. Avionics off. Leave the beacon on. Pitot off. And let's starve that beacon off and those off. Lovely. Yeah, not happy with that. Not happy with that at all. And we only got a B for it. What's it saying? Airline procedures 75%. Bullshit. That's incorrect. Well, we got an A. That's actually incorrect. Respect the condition of the aircraft. Yep. Ensure cargo integrity. Radio communications. Get penalised 10% for entering a taxiway when I'm still on the runway. So I think they really need to do something about that. If we lose reputation, I'm going to be really peeved off. 108 grand. Lovely. We lost reputation. How shitty is that? Like that is shitty. That was a good flight. Yeah, because you're right on the edge of the runway. But the fact of the matter is, Flash, you're still on the runway, though. That's the problem. You're still on the runway. And now we've lost reputation and we've dropped below S now. So, yeah. No, that's actually a little bit annoying. So we've got 276 grand sitting in our bank, though. That's good. That's good. So we have just had a big spend right there. So which is no good. Insurance. Is this Let's do it by date, 23rd today. So we just bought in 108,000 there. Got that transfer that we did, refuel, delegated maintenance, the new aircraft that we purchased, 133 grand from that. So passive incomes, no active crew on any aircraft. You can manage crew from your fleet. Do we actually have to? Fleet overview said that we can manage it from fleet. Yeah, very disappointing. I mean, you know, you land on a runway. There's a taxiway right in the center of the full length of the runway. You've got to turn around. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Maybe go manage company. All companies. Companies overview. Manage company. Fleet. Yeah, we've got a signed pilot, so a pilot should do that. Manage aircraft. No, there's nothing there. So but it is say assign pilot on, so I'm guessing that it probably automatically assigns pilot, I reckon. But there you go. That's it. I am going to end the stream here. That was a little bit of stuff. I'm really peeved off about that reputation. Like, I shouldn't have lost any reputation at all there on both of those flights, yet I have. So, which is absolutely not good. Not good at all. But thank you for hanging out, everybody. I appreciate it very much. And get out of here. Thanks, Christina. I'll speak to you on your Sunday. I'm going to go and mow some lawns and stuff. Thanks, Flash, for hanging out. I appreciate it. It's good to have you here, Spurk. Absolutely lovely. Nerg, if you're there somewhere still, don't know. All right. Thank you, everybody. Ghost, thank you, mate. Take care. Be safe. I'll see you all next time.